Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here on the Phil Hodges Experience. Today we have a channel favorite and one of my personal favorites. Honestly, if Tom MacDonald is not already my favorite artist, that's hard for me to say. He's definitely up there, though. Like, I have just because I have a lot of nostalgia with the music from when I was younger. That I listened to growing up and stuff like that. It's hard for me to put him above him because of the nostalgia factor, or him above them. But definitely for modern times, he's definitely my favorite artist. And since he does the best of what I like, which is the music and the politics side, because politics are like my sport, for those of you that don't know, I thoroughly enjoy it. So this one's called The Machine. I don't think it's a reference to Bert, whatever his last name is, the stand-up comedian who did the Russian mob story with The Machine. But let me see. I gotta check something real fast. I'm still working on this. Please like, subscribe, give a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. It supports me, supports the channel. I really appreciate that. I also have an X. I'm not gonna call it Twitter anymore, I guess. And Instagram, if you want a little bit more Phil in your life. I don't use it very often, but I am working on it. I'm trying to develop habits of social media. And I will also be having two new, very specific episode shows. One of them I've already done. You can go ahead and follow the link. I'll put it somewhere. I don't know if it's left or right yet. But that's going to be Culture Wars, where we talk about specifically what's going down in politics and who's winning and who's losing and why, basically. And why somebody may suck or not suck. And then we also have a brand new channel, or not channel, a brand new episodes. I haven't filmed any of them yet. But it's probably going to be about once a month. I might increase it if it becomes popular or something like that. But it's going to be called Black, White, and Gray. And then basically, me and somebody else are going to take an opinion of the far extreme, the black or the white, whichever one it is. But then we're going to be discussing the gray and basically trying to convince each other of who's right or who's wrong. Very similar to Steven Crowder's Changed My Mind. Slightly different, but similar. We can be a little bit more aggressive than what he is in his, I think. But anything else I got to think? Live streaming, yeah, I'm working on that. There's something else that's going to be in the future. Again, probably about once a month. We'll probably do it as a follow-up to the black, white, and gray, or maybe beforehand to it, depending on the topic and who's going to be the guest and things like that. I also we'll be starting soon another channel called Phil Hodges TV, where we'll watch movies and TV shows. I'm currently going to be, where I'm going to start with is the classic show. I'm watching Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda right now, and the star of that is Kevin Sorbos, if I pronounce his name right, probably not. And so, but the show he did right before it was called Hercules. I thought it was called Beastmaster. Apparently it's called Hercules. I only saw like one episode. I didn't even see an episode. I saw a clip of one episode, and apparently it's like a 6-season show. So we got some ways on that. But I'm going to be starting that up pretty soon, so you can hit the notification bell and stuff like that in order to get notified when I figure that part out. And then last but not least, not this year, but next year, I should be having my own tax practice, Phil Hodges Tax Service. And so go ahead and subscribe again to stay tuned with that. Because maybe, especially if you're here in Texas with me, you have your taxes done by me over the internet. Help me support my business and practice along with supporting the YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. So no further ado, we're just going to jump right into this video. Obviously, just like all natural reactions, I really don't know anything about it. He dropped it yesterday. No, I lied. This is Sunday morning. I'm doing this before work. He dropped this on Friday, so technically I think it's 2 days old now, depending on the hour that he dropped it. Maybe a day and a half or something. But it's called The Machine, like I said. And I know he's going to start right away. But other than that, let's see what happens.
I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? The system gon' suppress us all, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge? Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through the screen and straight into your brain. You ain't on a plantation, but you definitely still a slave. Race theory is indoctrinating children. Tell blacks they're disadvantaged, tell whites they got white privilege. What a brilliant...
So he's packing in the content, I guess is the words I'm going to be used, the bars, the subject matter points, and all that kind of stuff. He's going ham on them. One of these things I've heard a lot from the beginning, though, and I don't particularly like this one, so I want to make a comment on it, but I want to hear it again real fast. It's something like the first thing he said, I think.
I am not Republican. I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political?
Yeah, that right there. I'm not Republican. I don't want to be a Democrat. Why can't I just be left alone? Because you'll be hijacked. You know, like, it's similar to no decision is a decision. Like, if you don't pick one or the other, then you're just left with whatever might happen to you. You're subject to other people's will, however it is they're voting and things like that. It's similar, to put it in a lighter perspective, if everybody's participating in like a Super Bowl, the Super Bowl, right? Like, who's going to win, left or right? And you're like, why do we have to watch football? Why can't I just You're not participating. And most people only pay attention to this stuff if they like politics. You know, if they don't like politics, they don't even know, well, everybody knows who the president is now, but, you know, nobody knows who like mayors and governors and things like that are, so it's only those of you that are into it would actually care about this kind of stuff. But I digress. Let's keep going. Let's hear him talk about other people and why they suck.
System gon' suppress us all, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge? Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through the screen and straight into your brain. You ain't on a plantation, but you definitely still a slave. Race theory is indoctrinating children. Tell blacks they're disadvantaged, tell whites they got white privilege. What a brilliant way to reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system. And now they burning books in untraditional ways. They just traded newspapers for the digital age. Now the facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased. They keep screaming to wake up, but...
Well, I definitely like that chorus before what I just heard, and that part in particular is true. It's just, you know, like the meme, modern problems require modern solutions. That's basically what they did. And I know Candace Owens basically that may be where he got it from. But I know she was fairly passionate about that and said something to the effect of like the Democrats, they're just, because they were the slave owners of the South, now they're slave owners economically rather than physically. Instead of using gun and stuff, they've created economic slaves. So I'm pretty sure that's what he's referencing right there. But I want to hear that quote. Oh, there's something else I like about this song in particular is the string instruments that I can hear in the background rather than just like bass and beats and things like that. I do kind of like that additional like constant, not tone, but the string instruments in the background. I can hear it in my headphones and I definitely enjoy that.
Reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system. And now they burning books in untraditional ways. They just traded newspapers for the digital age. Now the facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Progressive and traditional are hitmen hired to kill the individual. They label people red or blue, divide us, they don't ever help. They want you thinking left or right, so you ain't thinking for yourself. Go ahead and vote, cause both the parties are the same side. Two teams, one coach, controlled by the same guys. Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly. Brainwashing everybody at the same time. The internet was once a place.
Well, like, yes. Like, yeah, like, we're all, yes, we're part of the same plane. I think that is the, not acronym, is the reference or whatever he just made up. Oh, man, I gotta hear that again. Let me go back a little bit.
The right, so you ain't thinking for yourself. Go ahead and vote, cause both the parties are the same side. Two teams, one coach, controlled by the same guys. Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly. Brain.
So when you say something like the Democrats and Republicans are going against each other, but there's a secret Illuminati over here that's actually controlling everything, that literally undermines the entire voting process and democracy and everything. So why bother voting if there's going to be some sort of secret shadow personnel who's owning everything? Obviously, there's some external influences into the party when you have like massive corporations, corrupt government agencies like the FBI, CIA, and individuals like Mayorkas. And I think he's the head of permanent defense or whatever it is. And you had those kind of things, but like, yes, we're all part of the same team. We're two sides of the same coin, but so is good and evil. I mean, like, yes, there's opposites and there's a balance in between, but you still need to pick a side. And that's obviously not how it started. It's like when did that happen, right? If America was founded in 1776, and somewhere around there, we picked our first president and blah 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 blah. When did it go from a good system to a shadow corrupt nation? Like, could you point that out, and who's in charge of it? That being said, a lot of legislation should come down to curb these three-letter government agencies amongst a lot of others, in my opinion.
Right wing, both help the same bird fly, brainwashing everybody at the same time. The internet was once a place that we could get our facts from. Now it's been monopolized, it's Google or it's Amazon. Who fact checking the fact checkers? I can answer that one. The people who control the narratives through the platforms. Let me break this down for you, simple as I can, Kate. They use social...
That's definitely true. We know that's true. For an example, in the 2016 election, I believe, could have been 2020, where it was the 2020 election, when Twitter and Facebook suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story based on the request of, I believe, the FBI. The FBI called them up and they're like, hey, we don't like this article. Do something about it. And Mark Zuckerberg, amongst others, were like, yeah, we got this. And started suppressing the story. And later on, I saw a lot of interviews when that story did kind of finally break, despite it being suppressed. A lot of people said I wouldn't have voted for Biden if I had known his son was this corrupt. Because that was the first real indicator that a lot of people had that Biden was corrupt. For those that weren't paying attention to politics and didn't know about his name, like Beijing Biden and things like that, that were created like decades ago. Yeah, it was their first wake-up call into this problem.
Let me break this down for you, simple as I can, Kate. They use social conditioning to put you in the rat race. It doesn't matter if you're first or third or if you're last place, you're still a rat, and they're the cats who kill you so you can't escape. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us, having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. I am just a man who knows they're scared of a nation that's thinking critical. They kill us or they lock us up for nothing like we're criminals. Divide us cause they know that unified we are invincible. Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but promoting guns and liquor in our music is commercial. They're confusing us with pronouns they made up to make us triggered. You can call me what you want, but just don't call me late for dinner. School teaches you to learn and never teaches you to think. So you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach. You ain't free, can't you see that's how they want you to act? That's called conforming to the norm, you don't need freedom for that. I'm not Republican or liberal or left-wing or right-leaning. I took the red pills because that's who's fighting for my freedoms, and you don't need...
There we go. Okay, thank you, Tom. That was slightly upsetting me that you're saying that so much. Okay, so at least he acknowledged that left or right are both bad, but or they're part of the same machine or whatever. But at least they're helping me out. Like the red pills, like they're the conservatives, I would assume. Like they're the ones helping me out here, which they are. I had some more to say. I want to go back. That was a really powerful verse. I want to go back in here. I'm going to go back a little bit farther. Sitting on the bench. No, it's when he went to standing, so right about that.
Pronouns they made up to make us triggered. You can call me what you want, but just don't call me late for dinner. School teaches you to learn and never teaches you to think. So you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach. You ain't...
Okay, here's another thing about school, though. Like, unfortunately, most of the society, humans in general, are sheep. Not everyone's going to be president. Not everyone's going to be Alexander the Great or Leonardo da Vinci or Jack Black, or Tom MacDonald, or anybody, Ben Shapiro, whatever it is, right? Majority, like, humans are hierarchical. I can't even speak. Humans have a social structure where we have a hierarchy, and then there's our things below. And that does not work if everybody is the same, or you have a lot more of the weak over the strong, I guess is loosely how I would put that. It doesn't work that way. Man, he's saying so much. One second.
You to think, so you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach. You ain't.
Yes. So realistically, for places like Walmart or something, like they're looking to hire grunts. They're, whether you're 16 or 35 and you have no skill sets or whatever it is, or 50, whatever. That's what they're looking for. They only need a couple managers, but they need lots of bodies to do things. And the majority of people don't save their money right. They don't, put things away. They don't do this, that, and the other thing. They don't develop skill sets. I say it out loud all the time. I'm inherently lazy, but I know it and I acknowledge it, because admitting you have a problem is the first step to cure a problem, fix a problem, or whatever. And most people, they even if they know it, they're not going to change. Like somebody's 500 pounds, they know they need to lose weight, but they're not going to change. That's why they got to 500 pounds. If they care, they would have, as soon as they started getting a gut or something like that, or had to go buy all new clothes or something because it got too big, that's when they should have done the change. But once you get to like 500 pounds, most people will stop caring. Unless you're Bill Knott of Alaska on the carnivore diet, go check his channel out. Let's see if I can remember if I put a link or something on him too. I watch him. I like going on a weight loss journey with him. He posts a video like every week. He's getting better and better at his content, and things like that, like doing video editing and things like that. I'm enjoying his story so far. He basically lost, his last video, he lost 200 pounds in 200 days. So it averaged out to be a pound a day. He had some ups and, has some ebbs and flows in that journey over 200 days. But at the end of the day, it averaged out to a pound a day.
Free, can't you see that's how they want you to act? That's called conforming to the norm. You don't need freedom for that. I'm not Republican or liberal or left wing or right.
Wait, and another thing. I'm gonna go back to the sheep thing again. And that's why it's important who you elect, because whoever you elect will harness the power of the less informed, I guess is what we'll call it, and good or bad, and is your representative. So it's important that you pick somebody who shares your same values, but also who's going to be pursuing policies. And know that in politics, there are liars in sheep's and wool clothing, also called rhinos in some case, like Nikki Haley. So even if somebody charms you into voting for them, you still need to pay attention to see how they vote. Are they voting the way they said they're going to, or are they starting to vote ways that they shouldn't be because it's not what you elected them to do? They lied to you during their campaign. You got to pay attention to that follow-up as well.
To the norm, you don't need freedom for that. I'm not Republican or liberal or left wing or right leaning. I took the red pills because that's who's fighting for my freedoms. And you don't need to choose to be accepted. They both fake teams. Evil runs the world now like hell ain't got no vacancy. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid.
Yeah, I can remember Rockefellers. Yeah, so that's there's all of his information right there. You go ahead and check him out. Support Tom. You probably already are. If you're watching me and my reaction, you probably already know and like Tom. But if you haven't, go ahead and check him out. He's a super good artist. Like a lot of his messaging, all of his messaging. I haven't heard a song that I don't like actually. Some of them hit me differently because I've never been like addicted to drugs or something. So some of the songs don't hit me as hard. They're still good songs, though, because he does an excellent job of using his words to convey his emotions and how he felt, and putting it into a way that even somebody like me, who doesn't have a lot of emotions, can still understand with a more analytical mind, using clear descriptive words and stuff like that. It really helps me kind of understand where he's coming from in those kind of songs. So that's the Tom MacDonald, The Machine reaction. Now we understand what the machine is. This means the machines of, like, the government. And how you're I'm surprised he didn't put a reference in it, but you're just a cog in the machine. But unfortunately, most people are cogs. They're not going to be the face of the clock, or whatever the main purpose is, right? It's kind of like a mountain. There's like the top of the mountain is not necessarily more important than the bottom because they have to work together in order to form the whole shape. But there's still good, bad, right, wrong, evil, and all that kind of stuff in reality. That's that gray part, right? You have the black and the white, and then you have the gray we gotta talk about. So go ahead and Make sure you follow, like, subscribe to get that kind of information, along with the rest of what I'm going to be doing here pretty soon. And I hope you enjoyed it. It really supports me and supports the channel if you subscribe and drop a comment. That's one of the most important things, apparently, according to the algorithm from other YouTube channels. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's a common thing. So go ahead and drop one down below. And with that, this is Phil. See you in the future.